All right, you guys, part 2 of my story, leaving the Amish community. If you have not seen part 1, go back and watch that video for some context. So what did I do after I jumped off that 15-foot roof, ran around the building, went up and met my boyfriend at the time and our friends at the top of the hill? I got into the truck, everybody screams, we're all super happy, we turn the music up super loud, and we drive off. Still, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing and what's going to be happening. I just knew this is where we're going. So we go back to the house that my friend was living at. We stayed there, and I don't think I slept at all that night. Like, it was wild. And then, remember, I only had $20, and the first thing that I wanted to do was get out of the clothes that I was wearing. So the dress that I was wearing, I wanted to get out of it, but I didn't have any other clothes to get in, and I only had $20. And so I wasn't sure what I could do. Thankfully, there was a girl that had left a few years before, and she had some used clothing that she handed over to me and said, here, you can get started with these. And then my friend that picked us up, he told me that he would take me to Walmart and I could borrow like $40 from him and use that plus the $20 that I had to go get some clothes. And so I went and literally got one outfit, one pair of jeans. I had to buy underwear and bra, never bought that before, and a t-shirt. That's literally all I bought. Oh, and a pair of shoes. So those were the things that I bought, one outfit. And then the next thing was I wanted to get a haircut. So it was either the day after or 2 days after I had left, went to a local hair place and cut my hair. And I had never cut my hair before. So that was so surreal. And I told her, I was like, oh, my hair all the way up here to my shoulders. And my hair was almost all the way down to my butt. And she was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yes. And that is an incredibly surreal moment because never having cut your hair and then having someone take a huge chunk of your hair off, it was like 50 pounds of weight lifted off of me, but it was so freeing. So we did that. But here's specific steps, strategic steps that I had to take on a more serious note in order to be self-sufficient and figure out what my next steps are so that I can make some money. So I got a job as a dishwasher at a restaurant 2 days after I left, but I did not have a social security number. So the restaurant that hired me, they had to pay me under the table until I had my social security number, and they said they would. So I was able to get that job rather quickly, so thankful for that, and make some income. But then I had to figure out, what do I need to apply for my social security number? Well, I needed a birth certificate and some kind of identification, which I did not have, like an ID or anything like that. So I had to go to the doctor where I was born at and get my medical records from when I was born. And then I had to go home at some point, which I had to do it on a Sunday when I knew the entire family was going to be at church, and go get my 8th grade education card, because those were literally the 3 things that I had in order to then go get my social security number. I did not have my birth certificate from when I was born, so I had to go to the health department and pay $25 to get my birth certificate so that I could apply for my social security number. So I did that within the first week or 2. I can't remember specifically. And then I got introduced to a young couple that had been in the Amish community, and they had left 5 or 6 years before that, I believe. And I got introduced to them and through our mutual friend, and he's like, hey, would you guys let Lizzie come live with you, and you can help her get her on her feet and everything. And to this day, there was a handful of us that left at the same time, and I still don't know why they chose me, but they chose me, and they said, yes, you can come live with us. You can pay $50 a month on rent. We will help you get your social security number, we'll help you get your driver's license, and we will help you get your first car. Once you have those three things in place, then you'll move out and be on your own. And to some people, that sounds really, really scary because, like, I knew so little about the world. And I look back and I'm like, wow, that was crazy. But I love it because the expectation was put in place and it just made me go, okay, if that's what I need to do, then that's what I need to do. So they helped me get all those things in place. Got my social security number, I got my driver's license, and I got my first car within 2 months of leaving. And 2 months after I had moved in with them, I had all those things, and then I moved out. And at the time, I actually had an older brother that had left like 2 or 3 months before I did. He was living in a trailer in a home somewhere, and I decided to move in with him. So him and I actually lived together for a while until then like a year later, he went back Amish, and he's still Amish. But so we lived together for a while. And those were the steps that I took. Those were the steps that I had to take. And I worked as a dishwasher at the restaurant. Then I worked as a cook. Then I had various other jobs as well. And then eventually I went and studied for my GED. So I got my GED, which was like one of the scariest things ever to do because I had never studied algebra, history, science, any of those things. And so it was incredibly intimidating for me, but I did it, and it was super, super empowering. And it was during this time that I discovered that I want to be in the health and nutrition and fitness field at some point. So I just continue to build on with that. So, and there's obviously a whole lot more in between the lines, but those were like some of the very specific steps that I had to take in the beginning in order to take myself to the next step and continue to pursue the dream and the life that I had always wanted. There you go.